to my live. I have not done one of these in about a week, but I thought I could take you guys through a few loose ends crafts that I have not put together yet, and a lot of them are sewing this time. I think I might make this a weekly thing. But this is a shirt that I got. It's a workout shirt, and as you can see, it is kind of laundry day, so this is my workout outfit today. It's like my leftover pieces. But this one is an American Apparel shirt from like the early 2000s. Only problem is, it has holes in it, so we need to fix that, and I think I'm gonna be embroidering on it today to fix that. Let's see. So I have a bunch of embroidery thread. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of painting as well today, because I still need to finish my painting that I make with the leftover paints, and I have some other paintings as well. I might actually cut out some pieces for sewing as well. Basically, this is just a bunch of disorganized catching up with all the projects that I have, because I'm a project person and I do a lot of projects. So I have 2 boxes of these, and we're going to pick some reds and greens because I do want 2 tomatoes on my shirt. Let's see. And yes, I did get a lot of these are used, but some of them, like this whole bin and this one, which still has the little thrift store tags. It is from Peace Goods Shop. I have no idea what that is, but it was from a long time ago, and they have the colors and everything. So these are all used, but some of these I got at the Joann's sale. Actually, let me see if there's anything in here. Anything I want to use. So all of these are a little bit muted, which would be beautiful, just not for this piece. And I got this whole thing for $2. That's why I like thrifting, because you can basically get anything you can get new for much cheaper, and it's better for the earth. But all these spool ones I got from the Joann's closing sale, which I'm very sad about, even though I went in there very rarely. Most of the stuff I get used, but it is nice to go in there every once in a while. So I have this red, and I'm going to put that as a maybe. This is the shirt color we're working for, so we don't want to get something too close. I like this. I think I want to do 2 separate greens for the tomato colors. And we have this green, so I'm just holding it up and kind of like matching. I like this one a lot better. So we're going to keep that as one. And I think I want to go with something a little warmer as well. Let's see. Because I also have these like card ones too. Hello, welcome. How are you today? We also need a bright red, and I think this is the best bright red, but I do want to add a little bit of orange just to kind of give the tomatoes that I'm going to be embroidering some pizzazz and just something that looks good. So let's see. This is brown. I'm just picking through them to see, because I kind of forgot. I have a lot of greens and pinks in here, so I'll have to do something with that eventually. We have this orange, but I feel like I could find one a little bit more red. Huh. I don't think I have anything more red. What am I doing? So I'm finishing up a bunch of projects that I haven't quite completed yet, but this is a top that I would like to wear again. However, it has some holes in it, so I want to cover them up with embroidery of tomatoes because I really like tomatoes. Let's see, we have this kind of muted earthy green color here, which basically you just hold them all up together, and I think this is too earthy. I think I want to go a little bit more, like this is close, but I feel like it looks good together, so I'm going to keep these 2. These are keepers right here. And it's all about just knowing how long does it take. I don't know yet because I've never embroidered a tomato. I am doing this first time here with you guys, so we'll see. I honestly don't know. Let's see. I need something that's going to be a little bit red and yellow at the same time, because I also want a little yellow in my tomatoes. Let's see, is this orange different? They're a little different, so when you kind of hold them all together, that'll work. And then an actual yellow. I'm trying not to go too intense because I'm just repairing holes. You hope I don't waste your time. I mean, you're free. You don't have to watch this. Nobody's forcing you to watch this. Anyway, let's begin. Let's see. So I have 2 needles here because I didn't know if I was going to do normal sewing today, but I do have a needle with a bigger hole. And we're going to put everything through. There we go. So I think I'm going to start with the red. And I just have to find the end of it. There we go. And you're going to want to kind of get it kind of long like that. And I just do that to try to help it go through because it can be tricky sometimes. But you don't want to get a needle with much bigger of a hole because then you're going to have other problems. Hello, welcome. We are currently about to embroider a shirt to fix it. There we go. And you don't have to pull this all the way through like traditional sewing. You just have to pull it a little bit, and then you just have to keep your eye on it. So I like to start on the underside of the shirt. So I'm gonna be pulling it through, and we're gonna make a circle. So you can see the holes are right there. I might actually just do one big tomato to cover the entire thing. And I think I'm going to take this. What time is it here? It's afternoon. It's sometime in the afternoon. What time is it where you are? Hello, welcome to family. There we go. And I like to do 2 or 3 knots at the same time. And then cutting off a lot of the excess because you don't want it to be just all over the place. That's pretty early in the morning. Or really late at night. And you just pull it all the way through, and that's what we have so far. And I'm going to do it, kind of get a few stitches in first before I go with any of these super big stitches. Let's see. And you don't want to pull too tight because then you're going to get puckering everywhere on your piece, and that's honestly not super fun. So I'm just kind of going around. I think I'm going to go around in a circle with these and then fill it in. And when you first start, it's going to be looking not super well. It's going to be looking kind of a mess. But as you fill it in more, it's going to continue looking better and better. It seems like it's gotten caught or something. Let's see. Embroidery is definitely not my main craft that I do, but I do enjoy doing it. So looks like it's gotten a knot in it, which is okay. I'm tempted to just try to pull it through, but that is going to break the shirt. And that's quite a bit. So I think I have to undo it somehow, which usually you can take a needle and you can undo it that way. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I may just have to cut this short or figure out some other way to do this. I think I'm going to tie it and then cut it off. So we're going to tie it. It's not going to look as good as if it wasn't, but I'm kind of working with the best that I can right now. All right, there we go. And we're going to continue on. So we're just going to continue making a shape of a tomato, so like a circle. And I'm going to have to go bigger because now we've got all this like frayed stuff right here, and we don't want the frayed stuff. And this is the first time I've done anything with a knit fabric when I'm doing that. So I have yet to see, but we're going to find out together what happens. Here we go. I'm just going to keep pulling it through like this. And if the shape is off, we can always go over it again. I used to be very scared to start embroidery because I'm like, what if it doesn't look good? But honestly, I don't think that there needs to be a super proper technique to use. As long as you're trying, you will get better eventually. There we go. So this is what we have so far. So I don't think this is going to take a super long time, just seeing how quickly it's already starting to shape up. But yeah, definitely the trick of holding the embroidery colors next to your fabric will help you make a better decision about what you actually want to do with it. And it helps you customize things too. There we have it. So just making that circle, and it's not puckering too much. But I hope everyone is having a great day so far. I'm having a pretty good day. It's actually really nice outside today. So I might go outside eventually, but I thought I might spend part of the afternoon finishing up some of these projects because it's been a while. And I also need to finish up some of my YouTube videos that I've been working on, but that's for another day. This is my shirt. So I got this at the thrift store, and when I got it, it already did have holes in it, so I was planning to do something with it because it is a very nice color and it fit nicely. So I didn't want to just let it go to the landfill when I knew that I had the skills necessary to fix it. I have done fixing clothes for other people though before. And that's a little more stressful because I don't mind if it looks a little bad, but I definitely don't want to have anybody else have anything that's less than perfect. So it's a little bit more stressful. Thankfully, I haven't taken on any major projects for anyone else yet. And it's starting to get shorter just because we had to cut that piece off earlier. But I have a beautiful dress that has some rips and tears in it, and I want to kind of embroider butterflies on it, which I will probably save for next week because I do need to iron it first. All right, so we have the main circle down for the tomato, and as you can see, the holes are inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this through and bring it to the other side. And then we're just going to do one of those like sewing knots where you take your needle, you take your thread, and you wrap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you push it through. You got to be really slow with this because you don't want it to get all knotted before you already make it to the bottom. There we go. And that should hold, especially since we're going to be doing a lot more on it. So doing an outline is a great idea before you want to fill anything in, and the puckering's not too bad. One day I will get to a point where I don't have any puckering, but that's okay. I'm still learning. And I cannot do the whole thing from inside the shirt because I want it to look better on the outside than I do on the inside. The inside's probably going to be pretty messy, and I'm okay with that. So let's get some more thread. And I'm always looking for this thread at thrift stores, and they usually have it. I definitely want to visit some more crafting thrift stores across the country because I've already been to 2. I was in one when I went to Cincinnati, and there's a really good one in Greensboro. And they always have really good embroidery thread. Actually, half of my thread in total is from thrift stores, maybe even more. All right, so we're going to start with a knot at the very end again. And we're just going to work our way in. And we're going to need to leave the spots blank where we want the sunspots, like the orange and the yellow on the tomato, to go. Oh, you mean can I patch it in? Can I patch it up? I could patch it up, but I'm not going to do that for this one. I will probably use patches on something else in the future, but seeing how small the holes were, I just wanted to embroider over it. But next time I do one of these like catch-up crafting things, I will be doing a patching stuff up because I have plenty to patch. I tend to buy a lot of clothes that if I see the bones are good, I will buy them even if they have problems, because if the fit is nice and the material is nice, it can be fixed. And we don't want perfectly good things that could be fixed to go to the landfill. So I'm just working my way through. And that's the thing about embroidery. It's just like, it's almost like painting, except it's with every single stroke is like every single stitch. And you can see that it's starting to thicken, and we'll just keep going around in circles till we get to the center. There's a bunch of different ways to do circles, and I have not learned them all. Eventually I will, and then when I feel confident enough, I will show you guys how to do all of them. But right now I'm just kind of freehanding it. And that's the beauty of it. I don't think you should ever have to know completely what you're doing to actually try to do something. I think you should be allowed to not be great at stuff. And on that note, I'm going to see, do I have an embroidery hoop? I know I do, I just don't know where they are. I don't see them at the moment, but I do have them, and I will bring them on to the next show. But I'm just kind of doing a modified back stitch, just bringing it through. And it's starting to get more. And I think that puckering is because I'm not using a embroidery hoop. I have quite a few of them. My craft room has been a little bit neglected as of lately, but I will be organizing it properly in the next few weeks, and we will be right back in business. One of the main reasons for that is because starting my own business has taken a lot of my time. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think patience is a great thing to have. I think waiting sometimes is a good thing to do. And I think crafting can help you learn patience as well. Any sort of craft, no matter what it is, whether it's clay or sewing or drawing. I think people were meant to use their brains to come up with solutions to things. Even if that solution is just a hole in a shirt. So we're just going around. And I think I'm going to pick a spot. Because if we're going to do it like paintings, I think one of these spots up here is going to be, hello, John, welcome. We're going to have some orange and yellow up here. So I'm going to take the orange, put it up here, and the yellow in the very top. But I saw this pair of tomato jeans online, and I was like, that is brilliant. I need to make a pair of tomato jeans. And I think I would actually do that with patches and then just embroider over top, because that would be so much embroidering. I just need to find some good quality scrap fabrics that are like red cotton. And a pair of jeans that fits right, because that's hard to find. White and oh, it's not going to be a slice. It's going to be a full tomato. If I did tomato slices, though, it would look really good to have white in the center. I might do that with an orange slice, though, at some point. Like on a purse or something. I feel like oranges and purses go together, even though that makes zero sense. So that's what we got. And we're just gonna, I think I'm going to start crossing over through. because I don't want to go around in circles right now. So I'm just back stitching through the entire tomato. Let's see. And back stitching is when you take your needle and you go behind the thread that you just put, and then you pull it forward. And we're not pulling. We do not want this to be pulled at all because it's going to continue puckering more and more, and then we're just going to have, it's puckered a little bit, but it's not that bad yet. I think next time I will do a patch behind it just to make it a little stronger. This is a knit, so it's going to be a little bit harder than usual. Let's see, there we go. And I do have a surprise video coming at 2,000 subscribers. I'm very excited for it. I hope that I reach the goal in time so I can do the video. I know the 1,000 subscribers was a very fun video, so we will continue on. And every time I hit a milestone, there will be a special video for that. All right. And let's see, where is the tomato right now? There we are. Yeah, I should have started this with a embroidery hoop, but lesson learned. I will do that next time. I'm really just learning here. Maybe I can just put it on here and then you can see that's what it looks like so far. And that actually helps. That helps a little bit. Because then you can kind of get a better sense of the round. I do a lot of different types of stuff, but today I'm stitching. I do cooking, I do some traveling, which is one of my favorites. I do thrifting, makeup, basically anything in the creative realm I do. Yeah, this is helping a lot more to have this holding it steady. And since it's the top of the thread, it does not matter because it will not get caught. Once I get good enough at stitching, I will definitely do tutorials, but I do not feel qualified yet. I did a few crochet tutorials because I've been doing crochet for a few years now. But I feel like I would need to actually make something that looks great before I do any tutorials of stitching. Same with sewing because I can sew. It's just I have never like completed an entire like complex pattern by myself. But I have made many things just freehand. So we have a pretty good outline going, which I'm really feeling good about it. And I think I want to make that outline a little bit bigger. And this is helpful, which tells me that it would be even more helpful if I had a hoop. And this was originally a workout shirt for me, but if it has a really cute tomato on it, I'm going to have a hard time justifying wearing it for working out. I know lots of people like to have cute workout sets, but I basically wear like my worst clothes to work out because I don't want to ruin my best clothes. Hence today's outfit. There we go. And I'm just kind of leaving the center a little bit more blank. And this tomato is going to kind of be 3D, which is a little bit cool. Doing some more back stitching. I think I'm going to go all the way through now, all the way across the top. Just very loosely though. I think having a loose hand with this is going to make the biggest difference in a lot of projects. There we go, nice and loose, do not over tighten. Yeah, it is a little bit 3D, very much like that. And it is getting very tough to break through all the extra threads that I've already done. So there we go. And it's filling in. It's almost completely filled in, and then we will do the other colors. There we go. That's the thing about a lot of crafts, is being gentle. Gentleness is a virtue, just like patience. And some off the top. I do have my own store. It is in an antique mall. Things that I make. I have put some paintings that I've made in there, but most of the things in the antique mall are antiques that I have found on my travels, and that ties directly into my Goodwill Bins series. I go and travel and find things and bring them back to my store. But I really love antiques and vintages, so it was very fun to get to set that up. Definitely, oh man, I did this too early. I took it out too early. But if you like antiques, I would definitely recommend, if you have an eye for them, to do a store. It is definitely a fun business venture to start. And let's get this thread thing out of there. There we go. So now I'm gonna push it through. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. I look like your lost sister. Somehow I feel like that's a prank, but that's okay. Hello, good morning or good afternoon. Honestly, I don't remember what time it is. I think it's afternoon, so good afternoon. There we go. And we're just gonna put a knot and then cut it off. So as you can see, the back of this is super, super messy. But that's what we have. And next time I will be using a embroidery hoop, because not what I expected, but it's okay. So now we're gonna go in with this red orange, and we're not gonna need as much of any of the other colors besides red. Where am I from? I am from the United States. And I love hearing where everyone else is from, because last time I had basically an entire group of people from Scotland. Like, it was just Scotland in here. Oh, my needle is gone. That's the last thing you want to lose, is a needle. Honestly. There it is. No, it's not. There it is. Perfect. There we go. And now we will have some orange, and I might actually have enough to do something extra, or I will just concentrate it all here. So first we need to find out where the top of the shirt is, and that's what it looks like. So we're going to try to make it have the same like light and stuff. Going from underneath. And now that all these stitches are here, it's going to be very hard to get all the extra stitches through. But we're basically going to make a small circle on top of the large circle. I'm gonna tie a knot. There we go. You definitely want to dedicate a pair of scissors just for like your fabric stuff. You don't want to use kitchen scissors because it will ruin your fabric. So starting with a few back stitches. And usually people just leave room, but again, I am not an expert at this. So we're just doing our best. And I think I'm going to bring that thread to help me balance it. There we go. Because this definitely helped with the red. And eventually I feel like my camera looks blurry. I don't know why. It might be the cell service and stuff, but I think it depends on the day, honestly. Because this is just a cell phone, it's not a super high quality camera. All right. And the orange is going to be done very quickly. Honestly, depending if I like it, I may just take this whole thing out and do a patch. Well, it's something you have to learn to be a streamer. You have to learn how to talk continuously. When I first started streaming, it was not super easy to do, but you get better at it over time. I don't know how those people do 6-hour streams, probably because they're usually gaming, which I have tried to do. I don't think I've done a gaming stream in a long time. But you can see the shading starting to happen. And we're going to bring it all the way throughout. And all the way down. Yeah, I may just cut this out and do a patch. Because I don't know if I'm digging this, honestly. We'll see. I think I just need to see it finished to make that decision. This is going to be like a full 3D tomato on this shirt. That's what we've got. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right. Got to get this little thread out. I'm using this instead of an embroidery hoop. Not professional at all. But now we have to go through and do the knot because we are done with orange, which leaves yellow and then the leaves, which the hole is automatically sewn up at this point. Like it's completely sewn up. We're going to do one of those sewing knots, 2, 3, 4, 5, and pull it all the way through. There we go. But I like customizing my clothes. I think that it would... There's... Somehow a sewing needle got stuck in here. Like a different one. But this is what we have so far. Let's see. I think that'll be okay. I genuinely do. And now we're just going to need some of the lighter orange, which these aren't my mute button. I don't know what you mean by that, but that's fine. We have 2 oranges, so we're going to use this orange. And I am a streamer. I've done all sorts of types of streams. There we go. And I'll save that one for later. How old am I? I am 24 years old, which is still very weird to me, but I'm okay with it. Alrighty. Now we tie a knot. And this is the last orange before we go to the yellow. And I don't think we have much more room on here to do much of anything. So we're gonna put it at the top of where this orange is. I may not even need the yellow at this point. I also think I'm probably going to outline the tomato with this orange. I think that would look good. I just have to be gentle with it. Let's put this back. There we go. And there. So I am barely pulling on this at all. I am using the lightest tension possible. That's the word I was looking for, tension. You don't want to be using any tension besides what is absolutely necessary. And that's even with an embroidery hoop. But you don't need one to start embroidering. It does help the end product look a lot nicer though. There we go. And see how that's a lot better when you use as little tension as possible. I should definitely do one where I make one the absolute worst I can and then try my best so you guys can see the difference. Basically, if you do everything properly versus if you just do whatever you want. And this is somewhere in the middle. Again, if this was someone else's outfit, I would be doing everything like super properly, but it's not. There we go. Perfect. So it's almost halfway around. I do think it would be fun to do this on, you know, something a lot more like fancier, I guess. But plain tank tops are low pressure, especially since I already got this one with holes. I am not too worried about the end result because I was perfectly fine wearing it with the holes in it for about a month now, so. And now it's completely outlined. There we go. So I'm gonna put it all the way through. I don't think I have any white embroidery thread at the moment. There we go. And we're just gonna cut that. Which leaves us with the yellow, which I think I actually am gonna outline that with the yellow as well. So we've got this nice sunflower yellow, like it's nice and warm and deep colored yellow. Which I should have planted sunflowers this year, but I started my garden way too late. I currently have a few raised beds, but nothing too big yet. I think when I finally get my garden in completely, I will do a garden tour, but we're not there yet. Basically, I have a lot of loose ends everywhere in my life right now. Perfect. I think the most complicated thing that I have ever embroidered was a self-portrait. I did not finish it yet. It is somewhere in this house. And I might finish it, but it was a picture of me from like 5 years ago, so I look very different now than I did then. Let's see. So we have the orange, and now we'll do the yellow. And this doesn't need a lot of yellow at all. Just some little spots here and there to kind of bring out all of the accents. All right. And for my last live, when I painted the sign, I think this sign really has been helping with the business a lot because there's basically just a neon sign outside that's telling everybody, oh, something's in here. And I think people are actually knowing it's not just a dead end hallway anymore, which is really cool because it was not great to have that happen. Does anyone have any plans for Labor Day weekend? I don't know if I do yet. So I may go hiking or something, but I might also go apple picking. I'm not sure yet. I want to do something fun. But I know a lot of people in my lives, for some reason, are not in America, so I don't know if you guys have like a day off on Monday or anything. It's weird. Most people in my lives are overseas, which is pretty cool. It's cool how far that the internet can like connect people. All right, so we've got a little bit in there. A little bit of yellow. Let's see. And we're going to do a little bit on the outside. And just keep going around. I think eventually, again, I will get back into the cooking show. That is my goal for the winter time because I have a lot of winter recipes that I want to share with everybody. So I would love to get my cooking show back up. So then everyone can make wonderful stuff. I made carrot cake yesterday and I have not posted that recipe yet. So I'm going to continue fine-tuning it, and then when it's ready, I will probably do a video. It's a little bit more of an unconventional carrot cake. It does not use cream cheese frosting. It uses a very different type of frosting. And I think that that might be good. I might do a little bit of spots just so I can get some weird looking spots on this tomato. Because I like sunspots on tomatoes. I think they're very cute. Do, 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 do. It's got a little spot on it. And that's mostly to cover up the still little pieces of green that are on here, because we don't want any green on here. Not on the tomato part anyway. But my next embroidery project will be butterflies on this purple dress that I have, because it looks like it needs butterflies on it. And I might do a combination of patches if I find the right fabric. I definitely need to find a good fabric to do that with. There we go. And I think the tomato part of the tomato is done. So we're gonna bring it through. Thank you. I still think I have a lot to learn. I would love to learn from people who have been doing this for a very long time. Because I feel like I have a long way to go. One of my friends, she does some amazing embroidery, and unfortunately, I don't think she's on YouTube, but she is on TikTok. When she does have a YouTube, though, I will definitely share it because she does some amazing embroidery work. And that is our beautiful tomato so far, which means we can move on to the greens. I think I'm going to start with the dark green first. And I'm currently growing tomatoes out in my garden. So it is very cool to have a tomato shirt, and maybe I'll wear it out gardening so then the tomatoes can feel like I am one of them. I think that's my favorite food as well. I love tomatoes. People don't take me seriously. I used to have a job where I was at where they wanted to know what my favorite food was, and I told them tomatoes, and they're like, no, your real favorite food, like brownies or something. And I was like, can a tomato not be my favorite food? Like, it genuinely is. I will eat them like apples. There we are. That is a really weird question to ask. And I don't like it. I wouldn't ask somebody that question. There we go. And now it's all the way through. I guess I got kind of a short one for this. All right. There we go. And now we just gotta see, so this is the top part, and that's where the tomato leaves are gonna go, and a little stem. And for this, we're actually gonna do some sort of technique work because I know this one. Circles have not been super common for me so far, but I do know how to do leaves because I've done some leaves before. So we're going to take it forward all the way and go all the way back with zero tension at all. We don't want any. And then we're going to go from the top here and stitch it all the way back to the other side at the bottom. And keep doing that on both sides. And again, this is definitely not like a tutorial, because a tutorial I would need a tripod that is above so you guys can see all of the stitch work. That would be ideal, and that would probably be what I want the most. And I am working on finding a tripod. I like to get everything secondhand, so once I find one that is secondhand, I will get it, and then I will have tutorials. And you just keep moving it forward like that. I'm going to do a few more very, very long stitches. There we go. And do some angled stitches back upwards. So we really want to drive home these little tiny leaves on the tomato itself, and have them get smaller as they go up. So that's what we have so far. And we're going to go underneath all the way back up to the start. And we're going to do like 3 of these. I think 3 would be good. I might do 5, but we're going to start with 3. And we're going to take it from the center. And the more colors I add, the trickier it gets. Like, this is getting a lot more difficult to pull through. And there we go. I don't know how long, however long it takes me to finish this tomato. You are free to leave whenever. This is a very long process, and it's not like my usual videos where I can just fast forward the parts where I do all the work. But that's the good part about crafting, is it really gives you like a meditative space. And we're going to do the 3rd leaf. I think I'm going to go with 5 leaves, honestly. I think it'll look better that way. All right, and we're going to bring it down from the top as well. And we're going to do a stem too. Also don't like how that leaf looks. So I'll probably need to do a 2nd round of green. Hello. There we go. All the way through, and it pulled through, so we're gonna have to rethread it. I have gotten better at threading needles since I have started. I have started embroidery, like actually taking it seriously, in the past like 2 years. But we're gonna finish this leaf off over here, and then we're gonna do a 4th one, and then a 5th one when I add more string. I don't know if it's thread or string. I feel like it is thread, because even though it's embroidery thread, it is very much thread. There we go. And these ones are going to be off of the tomato. I really like all of the grandma crafts. I think they're fun. And that'll be something that I can take with me my whole life. There we go. All the way through. So this is what we have. And it does look a lot more like a tomato. It's like a little grape tomato right now. However, I am running out of thread on this. But that's okay. I'll just get more. So this is as much thread as I can get away with, so we're gonna pull it all the way back through and tie this one off. There we go. Pulling it back through. And then we're going to, and see how the inside looks a lot worse than the outside? We're going to do that knot. And I think this is where I'm going to leave it for today. There we go. Just cutting the end, and this is what we have so far. By the time I do another stream, I will have the full tomato done, and this is what the shirt looks like with the tomato. This is mostly practice, but as you can see, when I wear it, it will not be as bad with all of the puckering. I'm going to learn how to do this a lot better so it doesn't pucker. I do think I need probably not a knitted material, but for just something that I'm just goofing off and playing around, I think it looks pretty good. So this will be done the next time, but thank you for hanging out with me today, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Please subscribe so I can get to my goal of 2,000 subscribers and take you guys somewhere really special. All right, love ya. Bye.